What's going on, people? Ben here from Bateman Talks Tottenham. Only me today, as it's a last-minute video, as Timo Werner is announced on a loan deal again from RB Leipzig to Tottenham Hotspur. This is a controversial one that has had varied opinions on Twitter. I think this is an interesting deal for both clubs. It's a bit of a weird one, considering we assumed it would either be a permanent deal this summer if Spurs kept Timo Werner with that £15 million buy option clause, but it turns out it's just a loan again. So that's interesting. Is that Spurs have got other options lined up in the future or want to progress players into the academy in the future, but it looks like Spurs will be making their first signing of the summer, with it just being announced as we are speaking on Twitter about 10-15 minutes ago. And let us know what you think in the comments of this deal. It's an interesting one for me. I think it's necessary with the loss of players like Perisic and Brian Gill is probably going to be out, so the lack of numbers, the numbers are decreasing in the squad. And with Europa League next season and a new format, there's going to be a lot more games, so therefore it is kind of a needed thing, but it's a weird one. Could Spurs have gone for another option, or would that be spending money for the sake of spending money when we've got a good quality option? And there's been wide reports that there's going to be a more expensive player coming into the club, so Werner will probably be a backup option, which I'm not against. I think that's probably a good thing to do because, like I said, we're going to be playing a lot more games this season, so it's something that we're going to need. Another name that's been thrown around a lot is Callum Hudson-Odoi. Obviously, a former Chelsea player who's been at Nottingham Forest this season, has had a very impressive season, scored some great goals, and he was known for that at Chelsea as well. So I think he would be a good addition to the team. However, we probably do still need another option as like that real quality that we need to break into the top half. Pedro Neto would have been a great player for us to sign, but I think with his injury record, it's not going to be a player that Spurs would really seem worth the risk of pursuing, and I'm not sure I would, if I'm honest. But yeah, so it'll be interesting to see how Werner makes an impact again at the club. Whether he's starting every Premier League game, I don't know. And honestly, I wouldn't say that's what I want, because I don't think he's the quality against the big teams. I think he's a great player off the bench and can be a great player against some of the lower teams in the Premier League. But as a first choice player, I'm not so convinced. But yeah, it's early business from Spurs, albeit being an easy one to do. Not been too many links with players other than Callum Hudson-Odoi, concrete rumours, other than the likes of outgoings like Emerson Royal, potentially off to AC Milan. So yeah, it looks like it's a slow start, but the news we heard from Ali Gold after the Newcastle game is that Spurs are going to really go early again this summer. So you'd like to think rumours are really going to heat up in the next couple of weeks. And with the 30th of June being the deadline where a lot of clubs have got to have their finances sorted by, that Spurs might capitalise on this, so a lot of rumours are going to heat up quite quickly, with potentially Conor Gallagher being a player that is impacted by this, and who knows, he might be at Spurs. Imagine that, Chelsea captain for a lot of last season being at Spurs. Sounds weird, but if Ange wants him, then I'm all for it. Well, thank you all for watching this emergency update. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and as always, come on you Spurs!